Matt and Amy Atkins. We've been married for 17 years now. I'm a journeyman lineman and occasionally fly in helicopters for work.
And I stay home with the kids, and we do homeschool with our kiddos. He'd always had some risky jobs before, and God gave me the peace that I needed to be married to someone who did these things. So, yeah. But on July 20th, we had a big change in our lives.
So, July 20th of this year, me and another guy were tasked with flying out some power lines up in the Angels Camp area. Sometime around 8, helicopter arrived. We met with the pilot and kind of got a game plan together, call it a tailboard, and we lifted off. At that point, I smelled what I thought was smoke, and asked the pilot if he smelled the same thing. He did. He identified a spot about half a mile east of where we were to try and set us down, and as we started coming down about halfway, the helicopter started to vibrate and shake pretty violently, and we knew things were kind of heading south pretty quick, and so I just kind of prayed and just asked God to just get us down and get us safely. 50 feet up or so, we heard a loud pop, and we lost the engine for the helicopter. So at that point, we were kind of at the mercy of physics and ultimately God. The pilot did the best he could to try and control the helicopter, but at that point, there was little he could do, and so we slammed into the ground pretty hard about 10 a.m. Ray in the back said, "Hey, this thing's on fire, so we need to get out." I actually had to unstrap and kick out the window of my door because it was pinned shut. We got out. The smoke was kind of starting to fill the helicopter, and you could definitely feel the heat of the fire. And as soon as we hit, I heard and felt my back break, and didn't know what was wrong with me at the time. I just knew that my back was in a lot of pain, and at that point I was just thankful to be alive. And then I made the hardest phone call I've ever had to make, which was to my wife.
And I was just here. I had had a normal morning. I did my quiet time, and I picked up, and it was like, took a moment, and he said, "We crashed." I was like, "What?" Like, what are you saying right now? I was just so in shock because it just is something that you never expect to get a phone call, and it's from him. And so I was thinking, like, in my head, you don't survive helicopter crashes, and you're calling me and you're alive. And I just got off the phone and I cried, and I just prayed to the Lord. I just cried out to him. But it was just that sustaining that God gave me. I mean, I can't even explain it, just the Lord's peace.
You know, we have a God of details who, even the smallest little thing doesn't escape him. So it's just really just humbling, and just shows God's love and mercy and plan for our lives, for everything.
Reading this was just like, whoa, I can't believe I wrote this the morning of, before I knew anything. And it was, Lord, help our family really truly desire and live for you. Please give us wisdom, as we can easily get sucked into our own selfish things, our own kingdom without them. Help me to be steadfastly organized during what is important. Give us all a passion again for the things that you desire. The future of the world seems so hopeless right now, and I'm just not sure how to have hope in even the next year. when the changes keep happening, and just a few other words below. But it was kind of crazy to think that he answered my prayer in that way, because this really has brought us closer to the Lord, and given us a hope that's not in this world, and it's in the future. Like when he was just asking the details, like what happened in those last seconds before you crashed, and he was like, it was just completely silent, and he was just ready to go to heaven, and it was just like such a peace to know that. Philippians 4:6, it says, don't be anxious about anything. And then, of course, in everything, prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. But it keeps going. In verse 7, it says, the peace of God will transcend without understanding. And that's the only thing I can explain, is the peace that God gives us day in and day out, even as he continues to have pain and struggle through his recovery. The peace comes from him. He's in control, and that light will shine through any of those dark places and give us that peace that we need, even in such a crazy situation.
Proverbs 16:9 says that we plan our way, but the Lord establishes our steps. And we had all these plans for the year, and having a house built and moving and just all the busyness of everything. And even through our plans, God still had a better plan than even we could have thought for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And and more glory to him, and more opportunity for him to shine through and show his love and his power. And we're just ultimately, I think we could both say that we're thankful for July 20th.
Since God gave the very best already, his most precious son, he will give it. His light and peace overshadowed the chaos of the circumstances. And even this year we had, a family member had died of cancer unexpectedly in the crash, and then all the things after that. And, his peace overshadowed that. And, no matter what comes our way, his steadfast love will endure forever. And that was so important to remember, that these hardships are temporary, but his steadfast love endures always.